大家好，我是唢呐。为什么大部分的饶舌歌都听起来很烂呢？
有 beef 哦。
Real talk, there are a lot of really talented rappers in Taiwan, and there are some dope songs that we've heard. Pink Chain.
几千个前 past 几千个年以前几千个天，另一边的线。
台大西演呐。
心面对我是让你外界穿心治病眼，发现衰迷唯一复兴的作品途径，不用租金。台大西演正式宣告入侵。
Gambler 啊。
车都出门的高昂下皮拄到跟电脑，阮车顶放塑胶在路边吃客仔，要爱我的心斗有影歹势，恁爸无咧会。
Their shit really slaps or snaps.
Yeah.
But 到底什么是 snap? When a track slaps, that means that all the 乐器啊, including the voice, the vocals, they all match together to bring you one great sounding song. You ever notice how whenever you watch black people like jamming out to a song, they're always like, That's because the music is supposed to hit you in your chest, that kick, and that snare makes your head snap back or slap
所以
back.
点头就是 snap。
It's not just the 点头而已. It's like you put your whole body into when you hear the beat.
所以很像被那个音乐从后面扒你头，你头就
差不多 like 有点车祸的感觉. It's like what you do to your girl when you be hitting that shit, right? She slaps. But what do we mean by slap or snap? We gotta dig deeper. Why is it a lot of hip-hop songs from America actually slap or snap? What makes that up? You have to go back to 美国黑人的教会 because everybody in the black neighborhood every Sunday has to go to church. And church is where some of the biggest musicians come from.
Yeah?
I'm talking about Whitney Houston, Kanye West, Snoop Dogg, all got their musical training in church. And can none of them motherfuckers read music? You know? What happens is like whenever you have what's called praise and worship, and that's where you're supposed to make noise for God. And during this period, if anyone sees that if you even can follow the beat, 你的节奏感很好，还是你唱歌有一点好听， it's like you 上台。But if you say, oh, but you don't but the Lord made your butt, so you will get on that stage and you will make noise for Jesus.
That's a musical gangster.
That's musical gangster. 如果你拉拍是拉音, they don't say 你拉拍拉音 because a lot of them don't have musical training. It's more they just give you this look like. And they just stare at you until you fix that shit. So you can be guessing like do praise the Lord. Real talk, that's what happened to me. 我可以唱歌一点点 and they put me, they're like, choir! And they saw me tapping my foot in the choir. It's like, the Lord 好像要你打鼓哦. I'm not even joking. That's how that shit happens.
那好险你没有吸一口气，冷肉好像要你吹哦。
Hey, come to think of it, we don't have any flute players in the band.
Because it's all in the 那是等一下的事情。
The thing about that is that culture breeds great music because it forces people to learn on the fly and figure out what sounds good. And also you learn what music moves people because you have to think, 他们是你的观众, the 现场的观众. And when that shit don't snap, they let you know. And how do they let you know? They say, oh, Lord, help him, Lord. Guide his hand to hit the right note for you, Lord. Yeah. They won't tell you that you suck. They will use God to guilt you. So, 现在上帝好像就是不搭
Whack.
信号不好
对，先生有2个8，你可以给我一点4个8。Amen，4个8，4个8。A good way to describe something that snaps or slaps would be, okay, you know how like in fashion and in art, you have what's called a color harmony, right? You have like a whole wheel and you can see what colors go good together.
Yeah.
In music, we have something that we can call sonic harmony. Sonics are every sound, every instrument, even your own voice has its own unique characteristic. For example, my voice is 中低音. Yours is 中高音.
Yeah.
That's where the majority of your voice sits. So your sonics is that.
Yeah.
So when you understand each instrument, what their special sonics are, then you know how to choose the right sounds to fit together to create sonic harmony.
Oh.
And going back to Taiwan饶舌, what I found is that even though the rappers might be dope themselves, a lot of times the producers that they choose maybe don't understand this idea of sonic harmony.
Really?
It's like they say, okay, there's an Eminem track, right? Let's do Lose Yourself.
You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go.
Lose Yourself is dope as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Makes people get amped.
Yeah.
But why does it make people get amped? Well, because Eminem's voice is 中高音.
Yeah.
That guitar is 中高音. So there's constantly that tension. Because 中高音 builds emotion, it builds energy. And then the beat is there, but it's not 没有很明显. It's just there for something for you to follow.
Oh, there goes Rabbit, he choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He know.
So you're constantly feeling that anger and that nervousness and that hypeness in that song. And that is because the producer understands that the kick, the guitar, and Eminem's voice have to be in perfect sonic harmony to give you that vibe of. So whenever a producer or a rapper says, hey, 我要做一些歌就是有点像阿姆的那个 Lose Yourself, like, okay, we just copy the rhythm, right? We just copy the boom, boom, bam, boom, 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 bam. But they don't choose the right sounds to create that effect.
所以要适合什么声音，适合什么样的乐器，还要搭，还要挑哦。
Yes. I think a lot of people think, hey, producer 就是做 beat 啊。对, now producer, because everyone can be a producer, right?
Yeah.
But a good producer is able to say, hey, 你的声音的 sonic 现在是中高，所以我选的乐器必须要可以配合你这种的声音。
那我要，
你懂我意思吗？
那如果用 free beat，然后我自己去挑 beat 要 rap， 那我要挑什么声音吗？
Now, this is what we call vocal range, which is something we'd have to get into on another episode, because this has to do with how you as a rapper or a vocal performer can change your voice to suit a certain beat.
哦，就是没有 producer， 我就是要这样子做。
对.
Oh.
So if you want to know more about vocal range, leave a comment down below. We will do an episode specifically about that. So let me give you an example of what is good sonic harmony and what is bad sonic harmony.
I know the SOD always have a good sonic
And
harmony.
sometimes, but sometimes the color harmony is a little bit off. Sometimes that money shot, the white balance ain't adjusted right.
那个重要部位被 wash out 了。
Literally.
过曝。
Literally washed out. That's what you call a monochrome color wash. It's just one color scheme all the way through.
怎么都是白色的。
So, in this, I've created a loop, and I want you to try and listen to see which one you like best. So we'll play A.
天对我说什么，你就要记得让我做。你要是发现欺骗我，看你怎样逃得过被。
Now, listen to the B version.
天对我说什么，你就要记得让我做。你要是发现欺骗我，看你怎样逃得过被。
So, out of these two, they're the same beat, but the instruments are a little bit different. So for me, track B has better sonic harmony. And this is because the way the drums, they're pushing up the sample of Betty Chung, because her singing is all 中高, it's almost 高音 actually.
Yeah.
So the 乐器 needs to be supporting it, but if they were all 中高音like in the A version, then it actually conflict. It actually causes what's called a clash. And things like 很吵. Let's go back to version A for a second.
天对我说什么，你就要记得让我做。你要是发现欺骗我，看你怎样逃得过被。
Do you hear how, yeah, there's energy there, but the instruments actually are almost preventing Betty's voice from being heard.
Oh.
Because they're taking up too much space and they don't allow her to breathe because she's the main character.
That's why the SOD, if the video have 2 more girls, I will check it out.
Yeah, because they don't have room to, well, they shouldn't have room to breathe if everyone's doing their job, right?
很吵啊，那个声音的高度都一样啊，我不知道听哪一个啊。
对哦，他们都是差不多一样的。
Yeah，那个就没有 harmony 的啊。
Hey, you SOD people, you need to put a low pass filter on some of your歌。
不然你要找一个声音比较高的跟声音比较低的女生在一起，这样才对，真的。
And now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
So the idea of sonic harmony with B is that all the instruments are there to push up the voice and make her stand out, but also they all sit in their own perfect place.
天对我说什么，你就要记得让我做。你要是发现欺骗我，看你怎
one other thing you'll notice is that the kick and the bass are in perfect harmony. And remember I said an episode back about how most producers will actually start their new song with the kick and the bass?
Yeah.
This is the same in not only church, but in 乐团 as well.
Taking the church, come on!
The drummer will actually tune his kick to a certain pitch because the bass or the diin is the anchor. It is the support system of the track. So this is the same in hip hop as well. So for those of you producers out there, the first thing you should be doing is getting your kick and your bass right. And then everything else can follow that. Because if that shit's not right in hip hop, it's almost impossible to make that shit snap. Yo. So, this is not the issue with the rappers themselves. I think what this is for those of you who could actually afford to hire a producer or work with a producer, the producer needs to understand what kind of voice that rapper has and choose sounds to support their voice, to make them sound dope, which in turn will make that track snap. But what if you're a rapper who doesn't have,你是下载个 free beat 那怎么办? You need to understand where the sonic harmony of your voice sits. And a really good tool for this is called a spectrum analyzer. It puts your voice in 中高 and diin, and when you speak, you can see exactly where your voice lies.
If my voice is 中高音, so I shouldn't use too many 中高音的 beat.
It also depends on what style of music you are making, right? If you're making trap, then 中高音is actually pretty 适合 because trap is all about hype, right? So like look at 金妖王. Jin Yao Wang and Li Zi, their voice is almost entirely in Gao Yin, a little bit Zhong Yin, but they still do trap really well. Why? Because the producer understands what instruments to make their voice stand out, create that 就是很 high 的感觉, but they don't get stepped on. So there has to be not only sonic harmony, there has to be balance. And this is something that the producer and the rapper need to 真的要好好沟通，因为可能你不知道，对吧？因为你们根本没有那种的文化，所以不是因为你们没有天才，是因为你真的不知道。So I'm telling you motherfuckers now, sonic harmony is important.
Yes, sir.
Like I said before, there are songs out there in Taiwan that can snap. And recently, I heard a song that I was like, God damn, dude.
Yeah?
This track is really, really dope. And it's by a guy named Chang Wu.
Yeah.
And this guy not only raps in Taiwanese, but he's actually not doing a rap song, it's an R&B song. The whole idea of R&B, if we look at it from the color scheme, right? Like, what would you say is a warm color?
Pink?
Not warm feeling, yo.
Warm and wet.
Warm color. God damn. With R&B, that would be 中低音.
Yeah.
A lot of hip hop songs are about making you feel soothed, making you chill, making you reflect. And in this song with Chang Wu, that is so well balanced and there's so much sonic harmony. I was really impressed.
Hey.
So there are two things that really make this song snap. The first thing is that Chang Wu's voice sits in the 中低音, and the music around it is primarily 中音, the guitar, even the bass itself is not a low, deep bass. And this is because his voice, 他的声音够低耶. So the way they organize the music is he's already the anchor for the track, so we just need to follow him.
Oh,
and
he 可以这样子哦.
And he carries the whole song. You see his voice is really dynamic and really contrasts to the music, and that makes it interesting. 你不会觉得, hey, 我听起来就一直一样, 一直一样, 一直一样的. So I'm guessing 张伍 either maybe he has training or maybe 他就是有花时间去理解他的声音的能力, because he carries this song. The music actually doesn't 没有很多变化啊. So whenever you have a track that doesn't have a lot of change-ups, that means that the vocalist has to be badass. It's like a 男主角 carry the whole movie,
Yeah,
right?
some of the SOD too, the 男主角 carry the girl.
He has to carry the load until he relieves the load. So the other thing that makes this track snap is the guitar and the bass create this warm feeling. Because the 主题 of the song is actually a very introspective, very deep song.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense for the people to be like, blah, 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 right? It's all about, 我现在要看自己啊, 我现在 internal, introspective. And they do this really well, not just with the video, but with the song itself. And on top of that, it's all in Taiwanese, dude. I was actually thinking, yo, you need to submit this song to a 人人有机车的比赛. Because the way they filmed it is cool. It's not a 大屌歌. The actual content of this song is really fucking deep, yo. It's really interesting how he talks about the 7 days of life and shit. Man. So for those of you that don't know, we actually have a competition where you can win 15万. And all you need to do is 讲 real shit. You can be in a cipher, you can be solo, but you must use another language other than Chinese. Can be Japanese, can be Vietnamese. I'd like to hear some Vietnamese rap, actually. That'd be pretty dope. And you must talk about something other than how big your dick is or how sad you are. The entire song doesn't have to be all non-Chinese, but you need to have a particular section. Maybe it's the fuka, or maybe it's part of a verse that uses a language other than Chinese. And we actually have the full details of the rules and how to enter in the description down below. And the winner will get 15万, son.
可以看很多 SOD 哦。
很多 SOD, you get a lifetime subscription and maybe even invest in your own SOD.
对啊，可以自己去拍哦，可以自己去 create Sonic Harmony.
Sign up for that shit for your chance to get 15万. And also, if you want to know more about how to make your voice snap as a rapper, leave a comment down below and we will 特别拍一集帮你解释. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Peace!